And I think this brings us beautifully onto Tales of the Jedi,
Yes, so good.
which I mean, when that got announced at D23, that was by far one of the most exciting things for me
Hmm.
because I love Count Dooku.
Yeah,
Having grown up with the prequels more than the originals, Count Dooku's obviously a big part of the prequels. He's a huge part of the Clone Wars. Clone
yep.
Wars. He's a badass character. Christopher Lee shone as him in the films. So to get to see a bit of Dooku as a Jedi had me so
Well,
hyped.
honestly, both Count Dooku's side and Ahsoka's, like, what Tales of the Jedi has done, my only complaint is there wasn't more episodes. Like, I would have quite happily had 10, 5 for each or something. But I get it. Like, it's meant to be small filler.
But also, the more they do, the bigger chance of them doing something that's going to make someone go, "That's against canon," is higher. They want to keep it small enough where you
Well,
can add flavor without someone going, "That's against canon."
they've retconned some canon
Oh,
with
did they?
this. Yeah. So the Tales of the Jedi, we got Ahsoka and we got Count Dooku stuff.
Yep, yep, yep.
With the Ahsoka stuff, we got to see where Ahsoka came from, how she got kind of entered into the Jedi thing. We got to see her like at a very young age control calm emotions on an animal, which is a very Jedi thing to do.
It's so fucking cool as well to see that big ass tiger looking thing ready to eat her, and she's just like, "No, bad kitty."
Boop on the nose. Boop.
Yeah, that animation
News.
for Baby Ahsoka was really cute. I was watching it
Yeah.
last night, and Jenna just looks over my shoulder and goes, "Aw."
Can we have a kid? No, it was very cute, and I love like it was. I knew that's where it was going. Like it was obvious she was going to come as like Jedi, showing her first signs of powers. And then I really enjoyed. We got a look at her in training, which was a really fun tie-in. We see her doing a little training thing and the Jedi thing. Anakin's like, "That's not proper training. I'll give you proper training," and he starts getting the Rex and the boys to start stun shooting at her.
And then, of course, we get to see Order 66 again.
So,
Dave Fillion is out to hurt everyone at all times.
So
My man that just wants to do Order 66 every day.
This is where I really enjoyed the tie-in, right? Because there was that second one of Ahsoka ends with them Rex saying the line that we know from the Clone Wars at the end, where it's like time to put that training into effect. We all, when we first saw that when it first came out, was just like, oh, he just means like in general, all the Jedi training. No, in reality, like Dave's managed to just.
Anakin's been putting her through for years.
Yeah, like Dave's just unneeded. This was unneeded, but he's just like, I'm going to give a reason to that line, just extra reason.
Yeah. I'll be honest, them training sequences seem like stuff that was just cut out of older episodes.
Or it's just like, it was just what Dave Filoni kind of like had in his mind, but he never like, it was like, there's no point in, it's not needed to be shown in the show, so he never did it. Like, it was just something he always had in his mind of how she trained. Really enjoyed that little tie-in. And then obviously we get to see Aftermath of Order 66 as well. And where kind of Ahsoka disappeared to for a while.
We got to see my man Bail Organa again.
Yes, again.
I love that man so much. He's everywhere. More.
Do you know what, though? With him showing up, like him now having that, like, Ahsoka calls him for help in the end and goes with him. I wonder if he's going to show up in the Ahsoka show.
Cool.
Potentially. But I enjoyed that, like, how they showed her going to her hiding, where she went, around the same time that the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is set. Like, where Ahsoka disappeared to. I like the fact that they had her show up for the funeral, though, because it was a nice little, of course she
Very Ahsoka thing to do.
Yeah. And then when she left, she goes to the ship and Rex is there waiting at the ship. So they stuck together. I'm interested to know how Rex ends up on that planet with the other ones. Oh, wait, you haven't seen Rebels yet, have you?
On Bad Batch. Oh, no, I haven't seen Rebels yet, no. Am I right in thinking that years ago it was confirmed that Rex was on Endor for the Battle of the Ewoks?
I can't remember.
Captain Rex, episode 6. Okay, this was a pre-filtered search. Yeah, he's in episode 6. Look.
Okay, well, there's when you eventually get around to watching Rebels, which I think you need to do before the Ahsoka series comes out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He shows up in there. So there's like, I'm interested to know how he ends up there for that. Maybe we'll get something else. But then we also got Dooku stuff. Dooku stuff was very cool. Getting to see
so
him
good.
be corrupted and
Young Qui-Gon.
yeah, young Qui-Gon Jinn, and we got Mace Windu, and then the canon retcon is Yaga, the female Yoda.
Yeah.
In previous, I can't remember if it was in comics or some other show or something, but the way that she died previously was she absorbed some, like she died in some other way. There was kind of a bit of a weird sort of, wasn't like anything crazy sort of death. So this kind of retcons that and makes it a bit more of a reason behind her death and what happened to her. I like the idea that she chased down or followed Dooku and confronted him.
Do you know what I really like? Christopher Lee always portrayed Dooku as not just being like evil, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it always made sense that there had to be like a logical reason why he made the decisions he made.
Yeah.
And you can see exactly why he was swayed to the dark side. He was out there trying to save this senator's son, and actually the senator was the arsehole.
Yeah,
and then he sees the council and the Jedi Order just doing what the Senate does, and we've already established that the Senate's got people who are there for their own personal gain. Because who would elect officials that don't give a fuck about the people?
Yeah, imagine.
And then you've just got this like gentle ear going, "We're gonna fix it. We're gonna make it better." Blah 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 blah. You can see why, because Dooku does in his heart, before he fully goes to the dark side. Fully is just trying to do what he thinks is the right thing.
Yeah, you see where he started from with the ideals of that he wants to, as a Jedi, he believes the Jedi should be helping the people, and he's starting to see that the Jedis more often than not were just doing the bidding of the Senate and more trying to keep just the Senate in peace rather than
just
people
trying to
in
keep
peace.
Balance for the Senate and keep the Senate happy.
Yeah, because they felt that a balanced and peaceful Senate is best for everyone because then there's no like big butting of heads, not realizing that they're basically just doing the Senate's
all the bad shit that's allowed to run underneath.
You see that like Dooku had the intentions of the people, and then it was like Palpatine obviously then played on that and used that against himself, against Dooku himself, and slowly you get to see like Dooku even says like the small little things. Like it wasn't like a very quick change for Dooku. It was quite clearly he kept doing things that he thought was the right thing to do, but then actually was pulling him away from the Jedis and their ideals, which then in turn turned him to the dark side. Yeah. Did you pick up on the archive that he deleted?
Yeah. That was the master who went to Camino and commissioned the clones, wasn't it?
Yeah, it deleted the info on that so that people forget about it.
Lost a planet, Master Obi-Wan has. Now, what this all is a roundabout way of saying is this week in Star Wars, they've shown us that both the Republic and the Empire were bad in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And this can be taken to see, no matter what, it's always going to be shit. I look at it a different way. If you sit back and just accept whatever is, it will be shit.
Yeah.
Make positive change, people.
I think what Star Wars is doing great, and this week showed, is they're very good, and we're very lucky that they're going back and filling in a lot of these gaps, because there's a lot of big gaps in Star Wars, and they're doing a great job of just developing characters with backstory, essentially.
What it feels like to me is they've done a beautiful mosaic, but only actually done like 80% of it. So now they're spending these couple of years filling in that 20% so we have a full picture. And then when that's done, they can move on from the Skywalker saga.
Well,